and I am the Background Check Program Manager here at Child Care Aware of America. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted on the Background Check website within 24 hours. Please note that at any time during the presentation, you may type your questions into the question box. We will have a question and answer period at the end of the presentation, but feel free to submit your questions at any time. Getting started. This is the Navy and Air Force Fee Assistance background check requirements for child care providers in Florida, Louisiana, Montana, and North Dakota. During today's webinar, I will discuss the new fee assistance requirements as it relates to background checks, the provider notifications that have been sent, specific requirements for your state as it relates to background checks, resources that we have developed that are available on our website, the grant process, and then there will be time after the presentation for some questions. The purpose of today's webinar is to help gain a better understanding of the background check requirements for child care providers and to provide resources to assist in the fulfilling of the background check requirement for providers located in Florida, Louisiana, Montana, and North Dakota. Again, my name is Ashley McCrary and I'm your presenter today. Background check requirement notifications. An initial notification was sent to all providers serving Navy and Air Force children on November 24th, 2014. A general webinar was held on April 23rd, 2015 and is available for viewing at the link listed below. It is located on the bottom of the page under the resource heading. Phase-specific webinars are also available for all states in each phase. New fee assistant requirement. Providers serving U.S. Navy and U.S. Air Force children will be required to have verification that an advanced FBI fingerprint check, as well as a state child abuse and neglect registry background check, has been completed. This requirement applies to all employees working in the center or facility when children are present, and all adults, provider, and anyone 18 years of age and older working in the family child care home or residing in the home for 30 days or more. Please note, if these checks are already required by your state, you will not have to have them redone. This webinar has been created to assist all providers who have not yet completed these checks. Child Care Aware of America is working closely with state licensing agencies to assist providers in completing the requirement. As such, each state will be different. Requirement by provider type. Family child care home. Background checks must be complete for all individuals/staff members prior to approval. This, however, applies to providers enrolling in the fee assistance program. Current providers will be grandfathered into the program and allowed to continue to receive fee assistance while checks are completed. Child care centers. Background checks must be initiated for all staff and completed within 90 days to maintain approved status. Background check requirements by state: Louisiana, Montana, and North Dakota. All child care providers in Louisiana, Montana, and North Dakota are required to have completed an advanced FBI fingerprint check. Verification to Child Care Aware of America that a check has been completed is only needed in states where that check is not required by state licensing. Once the required checks for your state are complete, they are valid for 5 years from that date of initiation. For example, An FBI background check obtained in June 2015 will be valid until June 2020. If you have already completed an FBI background check and it is 4+ years old, you will need to obtain an updated check to meet the new fee assistance requirements. Background check requirements by state, Florida and Louisiana. All child care providers in Florida and Louisiana are required to have completed the Child Abuse and Neglect Registry check. Verification to Child Care Aware of America that a check has been completed is only needed in states where the check is not required by state licensing. Once the required checks for your state are complete, they are valid for 5 years from that date of initiation. For example, a child abuse and neglect background check obtained in 2015 will be valid until June 2020. If you have already completed a child abuse and neglect background check and it is 4+ years old, you will need to obtain an updated check to meet the new fee assistance requirements. New/updated provider documents. Each provider will need to submit an updated Provider User Licensing Agreement, also known as a ULA, and a background check staff list. These documents can be found on the provider background check page listed here. Military Provider ULA. The updated ULA must be signed by all providers receiving fee assistance. The provider ULA can be signed electronically via Adobe EchoSign at the listed link. It can also be faxed, emailed, or mailed to our office. All boxes must be checked plus signed and dated to be determined complete. If you have already submitted your 2017 ULA, you will not need to submit another copy. If you are unsure, please reach out to our background check department. Staff list and background check verification form. The staff list and background check verification form will be required for all providers in states that have to submit background check documentation. Child care centers and family child care home staff lists may be submitted in lieu of this form. However, the top portion of the form must be submitted if a separate staff list is attached. The staff list may be downloaded from our website. The option to digitally complete the staff list via Adobe EchoSign is also available. You may also request a copy be sent to you by contacting the background check department. All required individuals must be present on the staff list. Requesting an FBI check. Providers in Louisiana, Montana, and North Dakota will need to independently complete a request to the FBI for the Identity History Summary, commonly known as an FBI fingerprint check. A detailed instructional guide is available on each state's specific webpage on the background check website. An additional instructional guide created by the FBI is also available online here at this link. All required documents, the I-783, SD-258, and credit card form can be mailed to your facility by Child Care Aware of America upon request. Filling out your I-783 form. The first step in requesting a background check is filling out the I-783 form. Please make sure to include your complete mailing address and telephone number and/or email address. Be sure to indicate on the application that the results are to be returned directly to Child Care Aware of America. Please make sure that you have already submitted an updated staff list to Child Care Aware of America before mailing your application to the FBI. Include $18 US in the form of a money order or certified check made payable to the Treasury of the United States. Personal checks, cash, or business checks will not be accepted. Be sure to sign where required, and you must submit the exact amount. The reason for the request must be other. Please include your complete contact information, such as mailing address, email address, and/or telephone number, in case the FBI needs to contact you. This is an example of a populated I-783 form. As you can see, you've got your complete contact information. You're indicating the results are to be returned directly to Child Care Aware of America, and the reason for the request is seen as other. Obtaining fingerprints. After completing the application form, you must obtain your set of fingerprints. A standard fingerprint form, also known as an SD-258, will be provided by the fingerprinting agency. You may also request this form from Child Care Aware of America directly. Local law enforcement agencies, such as a sheriff's office or police station, often provide fingerprinting facilities. Please refer to the link below for finding fingerprinting facilities in your area. Please note, the search will only provide locations that have electronic fingerprinting facilities. If you don't see your area listed, please contact your local sheriff's office or police station. Here you will see an example of a populated fingerprint card. Please make sure to provide an original fingerprint card. Previously processed cards or copies will not be accepted. Your name and date of birth must be provided on the fingerprint card. Fingerprints should be placed on a standard fingerprint form, an FD-258, commonly used for applicant or law enforcement purposes. The FBI will accept FD-258 fingerprint cards on standard white paper stock. Include rolled impressions of all 10 fingerprints and impressions of all 10 fingerprints taken simultaneously. These are sometimes referred to as a plain or flat impression. If possible, have your fingerprints taken by a fingerprinting technician. This service may be available at a law enforcement agency. Submitting payment for an FBI check. The fee for this service is $18 and may be paid using one of the following options. Credit card. Please use the credit card payment form. A copy of this form will be posted on the Child Care Aware of America background check resource website listed here. You can also contact the background check department and have a copy sent to you by mail or email. Money order or certified checks payable to the Treasury of the United States is also accepted. Please note that payment must be the exact amount. This is an example of the credit card payment form should you wish to pay with a credit card. Again, this can be sent via email at your request. FBI background checklist. This is a checklist to go through prior to sending your application to the FBI. For the complete application form, you are required to sign everywhere that is required. You should indicate on the application that the results should be mailed directly to Child Care Aware of America, and the reason for the request must be other. Please remember to include your complete contact information, mailing address, email address, and telephone number in case the FBI needs to contact you. A complete fingerprint card includes your name, date of birth, descriptive data, and all 10 rolled fingerprint impressions. Again, the form of payment can either be through a certified check, money order, or credit card. Submitting your FBI background check application. A complete application must be mailed to the address below. FBI CJIS Division Summary Request, 1000 Custer Hollow Road, Clarksburg, West Virginia, 26306. This address will also be located on the bottom of the application. If you have any concerns with the completion of your federal background check request, you may contact Child Care Aware of America for guidance at 1-800-424-2246, option 7, or by email at bgc@usa.childcareaware.org. Requesting a child abuse and neglect registry check. All child care providers in Florida and Louisiana will not need to independently complete a request for a child abuse and neglect registry check, as Florida and Louisiana do not currently have a child abuse and neglect registry database. Child Care Aware of America will process your staff members' information through a national court database system. Once Child Care Aware of America has processed your staff's information, we will contact you regarding the results. This means that you will just need to submit your staff list to initiate those checks on our side. Provider Quick Guides. In order to assist providers with completing their checks, we have developed state-specific guides which can be found on the background check requirement website, or it can be emailed to you upon request. The guides provide information and resources on each step of the background check process. By following the guides step by step, providers will be able to successfully complete the background check requirement. Please refer to the link below to view your state-specific guide by choosing your state on the website. State resources. As discussed, we have webinars, frequently asked questions, how-to documents, current state background check requirements, state-by-state guides, a phasing guideline, and the background check website in order to assist with these requirements. SBI check grant process. Once the checks are completed and verification is correctly submitted to Child Care Aware of America, providers may apply for a grant to assist in covering the cost of requiring the SBI's background check. Grant eligibility varies based upon the number of staff employed by the center or family child care home. All providers must provide a statement demonstrating financial need for this grant. Eligibility requirements and grant amounts are given by provider type. Under Grant A, for child care center or family child care homes employing between 1 to 25 employees, 100% of the costs associated, not to exceed 28 per application, with obtaining an SBI check will be covered for up to 25 staff members. In the event of staff turnover, up to 10 additional applicants are eligible for 100% of the cost associated with obtaining an SBI fingerprint check. Grant B. For facilities that employ 26 or more staff simultaneously, Grant B provides 50% of the costs associated with obtaining the SBI check. 64%. Not to exceed $18 per applicant. This is up to 40 staff members. Again, in the event of staff turnover, up to 16 additional applicants are eligible for a cost associated with obtaining the SBI check. The grant application can be found on our website or emailed to you upon request. Background check contact information. To reach the background check department, our mailing address is Child Care Aware of America, Background Check Program, 1515 North Courthouse Road, 2nd floor, Arlington, Virginia, 22201. We can be reached by phone at 1-800-424-2246, option 7. Our fax number is 571-255-4911. Our email is bgc@usa.childcareaware.org. Or you can visit our website at the link listed. Now it is time for the question portion. I'm going to go ahead and get some questions and answer those for you. Okay, so the first question, how will I know when my file is complete? Once we have received all necessary paperwork, so your staff list and all of your background checks, you will receive an email letting you know that you are now background check complete in our system. And then you will be eligible for Navy and Air Force families. But of course, you will need to keep updating your staff list and having those staff members conduct their background check. Okay, next question. What if my results are not received by my deadline date? So once we receive your staff list, you will then have 90 days to initiate the background checks and have the results sent to our organization. If your results are not received by your deadline date and you are able to submit proof that you have mailed your SBI applications prior to that deadline, we will be able to grant you an extension. But the applications will need to be submitted before your deadline date, and you will need to be able to submit some sort of proof letting us know that they are submitted so that we can grant you that 90-day extension. And then after that 90 days, if we still had not received your results, then you would be disqualified from the Navy and Air Force Fee Assistance Program until all results have been received. Okay, next question. What if I've already conducted an FBI background check? So if the background check was conducted within 5 years and you can submit proof that the check was completed, you will not need to conduct this check again, but again, you will need to submit proof so that we can verify that you had the check done. Okay, and I show that we have time for one more question. So how will I know when my results have been received? So every time that we receive a result, even if it's for 1 or 2 people, we will send an email listing the results that we're still waiting for and those that we have received. So you are kept in the loop of who is missing. That way, if there are issues, you can contact the FBI to get a progress on that individual's fingerprint background check. So unfortunately, that is all the time we have for questions. However, I will be taking all of these questions and posting the answers on our website along with the webinar. If you're unable to post for any reason whatsoever, please just send your emails, please send your questions via email to vgc@usa.childcareaware.org. I want to thank you again for joining me today, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. And again, if you have any questions, just send them over and we will be happy to answer.